Hello and welcome. You're watching Cricbuzz Comm. My name is Tanay Tiwari. With me, Harsha Bhogle. Welcome, Harsha. Let's have a look quickly at where India are at the end of 10 overs. Of course, Sri Lanka put them into bat and they were in trouble. Initially, the first 3 overs, I think they were 13 for 2 at one point. From there, at the end of 10 overs, 79 for 2, half century for Rohit Sharma, a very solid looking Suryakumar Yadav. They'd be happy.
Who's playing like whom? Rohit Sharma or Suryakumar Yadav? Normally you look at them and you see Suryakumar Yadav's normally going straight away. Today he's trying to build a big innings because Rohit Sharma is in form. And I'm not too disappointed with that. I'm quite happy with that because it's showing another facet of Suryakumar Yadav's play and he can accelerate very easily. The only one I was worried about was Virat because I think he lost shape. He was trying to slog. Whereas a Virat that we know would have seen the gap, would have flicked and would maybe have got the same result. But he's decided he's going to play like this, and we've got to get used to the fact that when you play that like that, you'll come off 2 or 3 times out of 5. That's still all right. But Rohit is batting beautifully. Beautiful. I was never worried about Rohit, even when he was going through a slight lean patch, because the strike rate was still looking good.
It was,
and he wasn't looking bad when he was batting, so I was never worried about him in the first place.
Today as well, I mean, they stayed true to the approach, if we can touch upon that. The way they batted, even despite the loss of those 2 wickets, they were 44 for 2 at the end of the power play. Of course, Rohit being the chief aggressor, but he was true to that approach all through.
And what is he now? He got a 50 of 32 balls.
Yeah.
So we were discussing in our pre-show today, do you want a longer innings from Rohit Sharma? Yes, we do, if it is at the right strike rate. 50 of 30 is a very good strike rate, and you'll take that any day. He's looking good, and he's got the ability to convert good balls into boundaries if he stays in. So it's looking good at the moment. I'd rather be in Indian camp than in Sri Lanka's camp at 79 after 10.
Yeah, let's have a look at Sri Lanka's bowlers as well, because in the power play, it did seem like the way they were bowling, of course, they were getting some help from the pitch, but they bowled in the right areas. Were you surprised by some of the selections? Because you said in the green room as well, you said that you would have perhaps liked to see Tikshana bowl one more over inside the power play.
He got a wicket.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball to curve into the batsman. I think a little lucky, the wicket of KL Rahul. He'll realize too he was a little lucky to get that wicket. Just clipping the umpires when umpires call, but that's the way the game goes. He's got a wicket.
Yeah.
And Tikshana specializes in bowling in that stage. And suddenly you brought Karunaratne on, then brought him back. I think they used Tikshana to bowl what they think are the difficult overs. So they brought him back in the 5th and 6th. But see, the spinners have gone for 31 and 4 now.
Yeah, correct. So they're attacking the spinners, something that we kind of didn't see against Pakistan. They seemed in trouble, but right now, those are the amends that Team India is making as well. They have wickets in hand, and that's one big key. We've always spoken about this approach, but if it's sustainable right now with those wickets in hand, what are India targeting? Are they saying we don't need to recalibrate what we thought, perhaps 180, 190?
Yes, if they plan to get to 170, 175, have wickets in hand, they'll get to 190.
Yeah.
The one player I'm really looking forward to watching is Rishabh Pant, because it'll give us an idea of his mindset and how he's planning his innings. But there is a lot of firepower to come with Hooda and Hardik, and they've got the wickets in hand. So they should be looking at getting 180 from here. Can't lose 2 wickets now immediately.
Of course.
But I know sometimes the Comm box does take wickets.
Yeah,
but luckily the Comm box now coincides with the drinks.
Yeah, correct.
So you can't take wickets in the drinks. But I think they'll be disappointed if they don't get 180 from here. And I think if they get 180, they should be in a good position.
Also, Rohit Sharma is in form. He's batting against Sri Lanka. The way he's hitting those shots, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to say anything more. And before Comm strikes,
do you have the power that if you say something, the opposite happens?
So your tweets have that power. I've seen it.
You studied law, I studied science. Okay.
See, logic. Of course, that's all that we have for you on this installment of Cricbuzz Comm. Thank you, Harsha, for joining us. We'll see you, of course, at the end of the innings with Cricbuzz Live. Thank you so much for joining in.